So like, like, should I like get a glass of water? Like, is it? Like,
No, you're good.
I mean, it's just relax.
Yeah.
Okay. Sure. Okay.
Yeah. So what's it like to be a peasant?
It stinks.
During the Middle Ages, poor people had plenty of things to be mad about. For instance, England was losing the 100 Years' War to the French, which was led by a child. Also, peasants often had to work as serfs, where they were forced to work on a lord's land in exchange for protection from invading armies and the right to do more work. And the final reason they were mad was that they were really poor. So first, the French are like coming on and knocking at our door and being like, we are the French and we want to like kill you because you're English and that's what we do. And now I got all these peasants being like, I need like money. Peasants don't need money. Like, they're here to like work and they don't, you know, like the protection from the French should just be enough. You know, they're coming up to my door and saying,
I want a raise.
no.
And I don't want to have to work as much.
No.
Okay.
It's like, these peasants are crazy.
Well, this is the field. It's meager, but it's, you know, it's difficult because like I have to farm my own food. Like I want to do that, but the lords and ladies, their field is my priority, and you know our crops are going up at the same time. So you know they're like, pick the wheat, and I just have to pick the wheat. I do all their work, and they're just sitting in there with their dinner parties, like, oh, these are some good potatoes, and please pass the salad for. I just can't take it anymore.
You! Get off my lawn!
But it's the plot of land you gave me.
No, well, your feet smell, so
It's
I don't
not
like
a valid
you.
reason. You can't actually legally evict me from this land because you gave it to me, and my feet smelling is not a legal reason for just kicking me off the land.
Well, your shirt doesn't match your pants,
Well,
so
that's just the fashion of the time.
you don't know the difference between fruits and vegetables.
Well, that's
I mean, anyone who doesn't know the difference between a tomato and a fruit can obviously...
okay.
I don't even own the clothes that I'm wearing. Like, whatever possessions the law does grant me, which is really just myself and whatever rights I do have, I shall defend them. Like, there was one time that the lady actually tried to evict me from the land on the grounds that I'm generally unlikable. Which, by the way, if being generally unlikable is grounds for eviction, then I guess we got a prime candidate right there, right?
Meanwhile, members of the noble class were having issues of their own.
What these peasants don't realize is that there is a labor shortage. You know, like, all of your neighbors are dropping dead from the plague, and what am I supposed to do? You know, there was a statute of labor issued back in '51, but that didn't lower wages, did it? So I did what I always do. I just made the taxes higher, because the state needs money. We all need money, except for peasants.
And how did people respond to this tax?
It's not very fun being threatened, you know?
It was this very tax that sparked the English Peasants' Revolt of 1381, which was the ultimate underdog story. It marked the moment when heroic adults with pitchforks and swords bravely decided to ransack a town and, most courageous of all, pressure a 14-year-old kid into helping them, who also happened to be the king. Against all odds, the adults won.
Hello?
Hi!
Where are the guards?
We might have killed them, I think.
Why are you here?
I'm here because I'm like a serf or whatever, and I don't think that's cool, so, you know, I'd like not to be one. So I'm just here to meet with your leader, and, yeah.
Well, I'm the king. But,
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a scary sword. Okay, so have your leader, what's his name?
Watt Tyler?
Okay, have your leader Watt come meet with me and put that sword somewhere safe.
Alright, I'll get that message to him.
Okay. Okay.
Thanks.
Going home.
Yeah.
The next day, the king did meet with Wat Tyler to discuss an agreement between the peasants and the nobility, but sadly, Wat Tyler was accidentally killed during the proceedings. The nobles then took this opportunity to attack the peasants and take back control of their land, but the good news was the revolt felt like progress. But peasants in England weren't the only ones who were angry. Peasants in Flanders were in outrage over the high taxes and unfair treatment, and theirs started about 60 years earlier. Throughout this long period of rebellions, the Flanders Revolt was the longest and the bloodiest. French peasants also had a similar uprising in 1358 called the Jacquerie. Peasants were angry that the nobility could not provide the protection they promised through serfdom.
The British are coming!
Well, I am sorry, but, I got a party,
But you promised us protection!
No, I
to
promise
work
you,
on your-
no, you know how it
Yes.
is, when the party is calling, no, you stalling, you know how it is, right? I'm sure you've been to parties.
I'm like poor. I'm a peasant, man. I work on your farm.
Well,
Oh.
ain't no party like a peasant party, but, your peasant party got to stop.
Just like the English peasant revolt, the Flemish and French rebellions didn't necessarily abolish serfdom, but they did feel like progress and gave hope for change in the future to many peasants all over Europe.